What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So welcome back to the weekly rundown. So this is where we talk about everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. So if you want to hear about all the good cyber stuff throughout the week, go back. Monday, we talk about the five families. So it's like a conglomerate, a crime syndicate of five different ransomware gangs that have all put their powers together like Captain Planet. They've all formed into something new. Sorry
You might have
about
lost people with that one. You might have lost
Captain
people
Planet.
with that one. Voltron. You can get. There's a new Voltron out. There's not a new.
Yeah, heart, fire, wind, earth.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Water? Yeah,
Earth,
there you go.
Earth, fire, wind, water, heart. Yeah.
Yeah, heart.
Whack heart. Like
heart.
Mati, you contribute nothing. You were the Aquaman of this group.
Yeah, he was. He was. But definitely tune in for that episode that was on Monday. Then Tuesday, we talk about how compensation will be impacted if CEOs have cybersecurity incidents or breaches, things of that nature. So there'll be consequences to their pay based upon their cyber hygiene. So definitely tune in for that one. Then Wednesday, we talk about International Women's Cybersecurity Day. There we go. I think I said it right. How is it actually titled?
Is it International Women in Cyber? Or
Thank you. I just could not hit it. I couldn't stick the landing. But definitely a very important day, September 1st. And we talk about how Canada is having issues with the hiring of female talent and retention. So we kind of go into that and how it is a weird juxtaposition of the states. Both are not doing as good as they should be, but you think Canada will be doing better. So definitely tune in for that one. I think that's a pretty good episode, if I do say so myself.
I co-sign it. I do.
We both get banned. They're like, that was terrible. And then Thursday it'll probably be a throwback, so look for that one. No guarantees on what that one's going to be, but we're kind of deciding that as we speak. So typically those are Ask Us SP. I got a couple in the pipeline coming down. They'll be recorded later in the month. So in between, I like to always keep that fifth episode in there, right? Or so I guess it'll be the fourth episode, but I like having 5 episodes a week. So we'll probably start to do kind of a throwback. We have like over 430 episodes of material we can pull back in to shed some light on. So definitely tune in for that. I think that's going to be the format moving forward. And then today's everything else. So movies, books, games, TV shows, all that good stuff. So without further ado, I give it to Shannon.
So I had a little bit of a break in there, right? So like I had a little staycation where we stayed local. Took my children to an aquarium that's here local to us. The Denver Aquarium was pretty nice. They enjoyed it. It's on the small side, right? So like I'm from Maryland, right? So I've been to the Harbor Aquarium, and that thing's off the chain. You know what I mean? It's a little bit smaller than that, but my children enjoyed it, right? Got to see all the fish, and they had actually had some tigers there that are at the aquarium here, right? That are in
Sea tigers?
No,
What are they doing?
Tigers, exactly, right?
What are they doing out there?
Regular tigers, right? Just living the life, right? Yeah, they got to enjoy it, right? Had dinner at the aquarium itself. That was actually pretty good, but children enjoyed themselves. We were going to try to take them. So like my youngest daughter, she's never been to a hibachi, right? And we were like, man, I think she would enjoy that. But by the time we got through and looked at everything in the aquarium, like it was late at night. And because we did the staycation thing, like my children love, anytime we go to a hotel, it has to have a pool. So I have to make sure there's a pool to any hotel I go to, which seems like a standard thing, but it's not always, right? So it was so late in the night, we were like, okay, instead of us roaming around the city trying to find, a hibachi place and do that, let's just eat here and then get back, tonight before the pool closes so the children can have, their pool time, do their swimming and whatnot. Not really swimming, but, that's a fault of mine, right? Like we started them in swimming lessons years ago before COVID hit. And just we never kept up on it, right? So they actually brought it up not too long ago. I was picking them up from school and they brought it up, and I was like, yeah, we can get you in the swimming lessons again, because dad can swim like a fish. Like ain't no problem for me.
Really?
Oh man, I can get it in.
Oh man, I cannot. I go straight to the bottom, straight to the bottom of the pool.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just growing up, we had a public pool that I went to that in the summer they would have like the programs, right? Like where well, in some places, not every place, but this will probably let you know how little money we had growing up. But like it'd be like the free park programs, right? So like you get a free lunch and all that stuff, and then it was every, I believe it was Tuesday, they take you to the pool, right? So like we go to the pool. I watched my cousin almost drown because he went off the high dive into the
And
deep
can't swim? Can you
he
swim a
couldn't
little bit?
swim. No, he could not swim. He could
Oh,
not.
that's just a bad idea all the way around.
You used to have to take this test to prove you could like tread water and swim around.
Right.
But however it was, my cousin snuck through, and yeah, he he had to get rescued. But I mean, it's funny now, but like at the time, it was kind of like, oh no, we almost lost Will, you know. But but yeah, man,
Did he go down and just not come back up, or
like
was he fighting?
he was fighting like to stay up because he
I'm
didn't
laughing, but
know how
it's
to.
not funny.
I
Like
mean,
I've been there, so that's why I was wondering.
he survived it. He survived it, but he was just like you could barely hear him say help. As I think back on it, but no, it was he survived it though, so all is good. But yeah, man. So they had their fun, right? So they enjoyed it. That's what matters. The next day they didn't enjoy it so much because we had to do some clothes shopping for my son. He's growing, right? So he's in that stage where he ain't staying in clothes for too long. So we're like, man, we just bought him some clothes like 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Like he's already growing out of them. So he's in that stage. So he didn't enjoy rolling around shopping a little bit. But I got to make sure to give him some snacks and whatnot. Get him some snowy churros. That's what we went and got. So um but they enjoy it when they're snacking on stuff. But as soon as that's done, they don't seem to appreciate what we're doing for them, right? It's kind of how children are. But so did that. Um, what else did I do? Bought Madden, man, the video game. I'm not thrilled.
Oh,
I'm not thrilled
oh,
with
I'm not thrilled with it. You, I'm not thrilled with it. Like,
it's just it's not good. The only reason I bought it, like I bought it the day it came out, or downloaded it the day it came out, because I had a coworker that challenged me, right? Wanted to play me, so that's why I bought it. If I would have read the reviews, I definitely would have held off until it was a little bit cheaper before I got it, because like they'll patch it and do all those types of things. But yeah, I he challenged me. He got what he deserved. I gave him the business. You know what I mean? So
I was not that coworker, by the way. But
no, no, no.
I did play him and also got beat down. But I did not challenge him. I was just like, let's just try it out.
Yeah.
It was like 42 points later or something like that.
I was gonna bring it up. I'm by no means, look, I'm not taking this as bragging or anything like that. Like I get Madden every year. I'm decent, but you're not gonna see me on the leaderboard if you go look, look out there for the leaderboards for the top people in the world. I'm not one of those guys. Like I definitely don't put the time in like that. But guys and gals, I should say, I'm definitely not one of them. But yeah, it's just I'm trying to get in it because I spent the money, like I spent that first day money, so I paid full price. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to find some saving grace in it. Like it just had the second update like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, or something like that, and it doesn't seem to have helped with much. I mean, there are some things it helped with that I was getting annoyed with. I was like, this is a straight glitch that's just like you couldn't even like they have these mini games in it now to where like you can try to get XP to make your players better, like up their levels and whatnot for what they do. And you have these mini games, and there's one where defensive players can like linebackers and defensive linemen, you can fight through linemen to sack the quarterback, right? They had a glitch in this game, and this was for at least a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, to where when you would get to the quarterback, it would not sack them. They would shed it every time. It
Oh
wasn't
wow.
because of anything you
Okay.
did, like they would just shed the tackle. And then
Hmm.
like you'd lose points because you didn't sack them, but like you
Right.
got there. And I'm like, who is sitting down and testing this game before you release it to say, yeah, that's good. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it
Right.
was consistently. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like this is just terrible. Like how do you let people download this? Like how do you let this happen? And that was on the second update. So they had the first update didn't fix it. The second one did. So it's
Hmm.
like, how did you not know? But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to enjoy it, but I'm not getting any type of real enjoyment out of it. So
Right. Right. I played a couple more times after we played.
what'd you think?
Still, I'm
Yeah.
just it's a me thing. Like because I even have RJ, so Ryan Jr., he'll watch me play and he'll be like, that was just a bad read. That's you. I'm like, but you only get so much time to like, okay, that dude, there's some separation there, throw it, and by interception. I legitimately, last time I played, I threw who did I, because I even played as the Bills this time. I played as the Bengals. I forget who I was playing. Was it the Jets? I want to say it was Bengals versus the Jets. And I legitimately, my ground game was decent, but then even the CPU picks up like, oh, he's not just not gonna throw the ball. So, you know, what I mean, let's get at him because he's gonna run it. So then, as soon as I like every first pass was an interception. Every drive, the first pass was an interception. I'm just like, yo, why am I so terrible at this?
Well, I
Like,
mean, to be fair, like if you were playing the Jets, like Sauce Gardner was the defensive rookie of the year last year, and that dude's on point. So if you threw it to Sauce, don't nobody want it with Sauce in real life, and you don't want it with him on Madden. You know what I mean? Sauce Gardner is no joke. So like it's one of those things where if you throw it to that side, it's kind of like Revis used to be, right? Like it was Revis Island. You never threw that side of the field. Like that's
that's
Sauce
funny. Yeah.
now. You know what I mean? Like you just don't do it. So if you did that, then yeah, man. When the question comes up, who won it with sauce? You won it with sauce, and he's like, "I'll take this." That's how that goes.
Yeah, I'm just terrible at that game. But I'm gonna keep playing it. Like I bought it day one. I bought it because I'm a Bills fan, right? So I had to get it. Josh Allen's on the cover. When's the next time a Bill was gonna be on the cover of Madden, right? So I had to pick it up. I haven't picked up a Madden since '07. Like it's been in the house, right? So like my son plays them. I never play it. I just like I legitimately quit in '07. I retired from Madden forever because I was terrible at it. And now it's just picking me apart. It does look better though. Like so I initially on day one I started playing and I was like, this does not look great. But it's grown on me. Like as I start looking at mechanics, I'm like, okay, I do see some improvements. I do see I'm able to see more of the field when I'm playing now, and I'm not as tunnel vision as when I started on day one. So I'm just like, okay, I do see some of this stuff working, the systems and mechanics. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. I've been playing the mini games. I'm just not a good quarterback. I'm just like, can I just play receiver? Like let the CPU throw it to me. I'll get open. I gotta work on it. Like running, I'm decent. Everything else terrible. So it's just gonna be a work in progress. So I did play a little bit more, but I have not been playing. Like I said I was gonna play every day. I was gonna dedicate an hour to it, get good. That has not happened. I've dedicated maybe a couple hours a week, maybe. Oh, you're muted.
Play RJ, man. That'll get you good.
And he just beats me down.
It's his opportunity, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what it is with children. Whenever they get that one thing, they're like, "Oh, they're better at you at." Like they'll talk a good game about it too, right?
Yeah,
I,
because I stopped playing him in 2K like a couple years ago. Because it's 2K, I still had a little bit of in me. Like so when it comes to anything else, like fighting games, oh, I get at them. It's just like I understand the mechanics. I'm not good at fighting games at all, but I can pick up the mechanics fairly easy across multiple different games. But like 2K just got too realistic. Madden is just ultra realistic for whatever reason. I don't play games to do stuff I can do in real life. If I wanted to play real football, I go outside.
I love the realism. That's the thing. But here's the thing: Madden doesn't have as much realism as I'd like for them to have. Like these super jumping linebackers and cornerbacks. Like you should not be intercepting the ball when you're not even looking at it. Like that's what I hate.
Oh
Like
yeah, like the no look
yeah, I'm
interceptions
going
where they
to
just were
yeah,
like boop, just
come
catch it behind
on.
the back of their head.
Like this is dumb. Like
I
nobody.
just don't get the like I don't I'm not getting the three-dimensional space, right? Like so I get if I throw a bullet or if I throw it low, I get those. If I try to elevate, like I see my dude get some separation, I'm trying to throw it over the defender, it always gets thrown to them. I'm just like I hit the bumper or whatever, like because like we're playing on different systems, which I do appreciate the crossplay. That's all. That's amazing. Because I enjoyed in every other thing, but like in Madden, like not having to buy it on the same console works for me and my family because we only have one PS5, but we have the Xbox Series, right? So like I'm only gonna play Madden for so long. It's gonna be RJ thing. He's got the Series S in his room. That's great for me. We get to share it across, like, because he'll be the Madden player in the house. But if I try to throw it over the defender, it never happens. Like I don't know if it's just like you said, like they got springs in their feet or what, or I'm not settling in and then throwing the ball. And maybe that's why I'm not getting as much elevation on it. But you would think if I'm throwing a bomb or like a touch, it's going to go over. It never goes over. It's like a straight line to the person.
it is a function of having the right touch, right? Like, and if you don't play it regularly, like you just don't know it, right? Like that,
Yeah.
it's not a dig, but like you don't
Yeah,
know
yeah. No,
how you need to
yeah, it's
tap it.
been, how many years is that? It's been like,
If you said 2000, you said 2007.
yeah,
If it was
2007.
Madden 2007, that was
Man,
actually
2007.
2006. That was actually 2006. Because remember, it's the year after
Oh, right,
the
right,
year
right.
the season ends in is what the title of that is. So like you're looking at, was that 17 years?
Yeah. And I wasn't good then when I
Yeah.
stopped. So I'm gonna keep playing the mechanics because even when I play the mini games as a QB, I'm not able to hit the bullseyes. Like as the defender's cutting across, I'm trying to get some depth. Never hitting the bullseyes. I'm
So
like, what am I doing wrong?
you can move, right? So just move
Yeah,
the quarterback. So like just move the quarterback like two in front of it, like, and even on some of those long routes, just like bullet it there, and you can catch two at a time. Like that's what I
mm,
end up doing. Like when they get them like right behind another one, like I'll
yeah,
move over, and then even on the long routes, don't try to loft it to them. Like it is if you just want to hit the long one way
yeah.
far out. But yeah, man, it's just if you play it long enough, you'll get it. Like the mini game thing is new. Like I they didn't have
Oh, okay, I got you.
or so, but usually it was just you set up somebody for training and then they get XP. They were focus player or whatever. But that's new, which it has some good aspects to it. But some of them I'm just like, wow. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah, it's all new to me. But and he another funny thing is he teases me because I on defense I'll play on the line. He's like, that's not fun. Like nobody plays on the line. So I'm just like, but if I play as a defender back there, I'm gonna get burnt. Like, it's guaranteed. So then that's wide open for you. So I let the CPU cause some damage over there, and then I'll flip to that character. And then he also says like, because I'll flip and then hit X to tackle. He's like, you always hit the interception button, like the jump or whatever, the Y. He was like, because if you you at least swat the ball, if not intercept the ball, or you'll miss it, like because you're going to miss the tackle, guaranteed. And every time he is right, he is absolutely right. I always either miss the tackle or the person catch the ball. I got to get the mechanics down.
Here's the thing: if you're not liking it and you're kind of forcing it, like just I don't know, just put the cover like take your version of Madden, put it in its glass case with Josh Allen on the cover, right, and put it up on the mantle somewhere and be like, "Yep, I bought it that year." You know what I mean? Like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's just one of those things.
Right, but I just don't know. Like maybe because maybe it's just the sports games. I'm just always gonna be terrible at. But like I'm leaning towards getting PGA. Like maybe I can handle that. The golf sim.
Okay, all right. I don't know. I've played the Tiger Woods golf ones years ago, but it was just one of those things where the sport doesn't really interest me that much to where I want to put the time into it. I've ventured out into different games and whatnot, right? Like I like 2K used to have I believe it was tennis. 2K did tennis. Like I tried that. I was just like, not for me. Golf, not for me. Baseball, I haven't played in a long time. Like I don't watch baseball on TV. I love being in the environment. Like you put me in the stadium, like I'm all for it. But other than that, yeah, no, not for me.
Right,
Football and
right.
basketball is where I get down. And even with 2K with basketball, I haven't bought that in a few years now. So I'd probably have to get back in the groove on that.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible because I remember like we talked about it like NBA Live. Like, I was shooting threes with Shaq. Like it was just about the touch. Like long as you understood the mechanics. But now you can't do that anymore, right? Like you gotta people have to be they have to heat up, they cool down. It's like it's too real.
And
Just
you gotta have the stats to back it up too. Like Shaq,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like no, I just want to get good at the mechanics. So I think that's why I'm good at fighting games, uh, as opposed to the sports games. But aside from that, playing more Zelda, the uh the Switch has a sale. I don't know if you have a Switch. I
my
think you
children
do.
do. My
Yeah.
boys do, yeah.
So there's a Switch sale on a bunch of indie games. So I bought a bunch of indie games I've been playing around with. And then Starfield. I don't know if you're tracking Starfield. Starfield's like a really big RPG that's gonna drop on the 6th. You can get early access now, which I was tempted, right? So if you have Game Pass, you're gonna get it with Game Pass, or you pay retail for it. If you have Game Pass and you want to buy the premium edition, so you get early access, which started on the 1st, it's $30 for the upgrade. I could not justify $30 to play it 5 days early. I was just like, I'll just wait. I'm
Yeah,
already paying for
yeah,
the service, right? So,
yeah.
but I was like, if any weekend was gonna be a good weekend, it was gonna be this weekend before I get super busy and it's a long weekend. But I was just like, I just don't want to. So, so I
That's
got to miss out.
understandable. I understand the logic behind that, right? No, because you mentioned Starfield, and I got some coworkers that have been talking about it as well. Like I'm not familiar with the game or the series or whatever, but
So
yeah,
it's brand new. So like that's the thing, right? So like it's a Bethesda RPG. Bethesda makes like your Fallouts and your Elder Scrolls. This is their first new franchise in 25 years. So that's why everybody's so amped, right? Like so you got the medieval stuff with your Elder Scrolls, you have the post-apocalypse. I can't say the word apocalypse.
mhm.
Post-apocalypse.
Apocalyptic. I got
There
you.
you
I got
go.
you.
There you go. Appreciate you. With Fallout. And then now you have your uh I guess your sci-fi, like your Firefly, your Star Trek, your whatever sci-fi genre you want, like go to the stars with Starfield. So everybody's super pumped. The reviews are pretty good. They're saying it's not necessarily the game of a generation like people were thinking it was going to be. Like this is going to define this generation of consoles. It says this is a really good RPG. So it's like an 8, which is not bad. I mean, still it's going to get some heavy hitters. Um, so I'm interested in like this, and it's one of those games where they say that the real game doesn't open up until you beat it. So you have to beat the campaigns about 30, 40 hours, and then you have hundreds of hours of side quests and stuff. Exploration.
So you can't do the side quests while you're playing the
You
game?
can, you can.
Okay.
So that's what's going to stretch it out for most people. Most people are going to put in over 100 hours doing everything all at one time. But it says like, I guess some stuff unlocks after you beat the campaign that you just can't do until you beat the campaign. So the campaign is just there to guide you, to get you to do all the interesting stuff. But the game is really all the other side quest stuff is the real hook of the game. So they're like either you like so most reviewers are saying do everything. Like don't be pigeonholed into the main quest. Just explore, do stuff, have fun. But then once you finally beat it, there'll be more stuff you can do that you couldn't do before you beat it. Um, so they're like don't mainline. Like I would like I'm gonna mainline it. Like this is what's gonna happen. I gotta get through this through this story to get to the other stuff because then I'll be like Zelda. Like Zelda, I have over 100 hours. I'm nowhere near beating Zelda. So I I need something to switch off because I have been kind of like I'm getting Zelda out, right? Like it's not as majestic as it was. Not because it's not doing cool stuff, but it's always something cool around the corner. Like it's always something shiny, and I'm just like I need to get this game done with, but I can't because I'm like I don't know if I ever come back to this area to do this thing. Because the game is so expansive, so I kind of need something where I can mainline it. So I'm thinking of there's another game called Ocean of Stars. It's like a modern day take on the 16-bit RPG. So that one is like a mainline game. Like you're only going from start to finish. So I downloaded it off Game Pass. It's real cool looking and what have you. So that'll probably be my mainline RPG, and then these other two will be the big expansive. Like I won't beat them anytime soon. Like a year from now, I'll probably beat one of these games.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Like you're always playing several games at one time too, though. Like my thing is, I don't know if I'm necessarily going back and forth with games like you do. You know what I mean? Like you can sit there and be playing four titles at the same time. I'm like, no, I just need to concentrate on this one. You know.
Right, right. That's why I had that issue with Horizon. Like I would forget the mechanics and I get back and get frustrated because it's so different than all the other stuff I was playing. Like you really have to pay attention. So like one day I'm going to sit down and actually play Horizon from start to finish, but I can't play anything else with it because the mechanics are so different. But for the most part, like these bigger games, they're all very similar mechanical wise. Um, like especially like your Zeldas, so because they make it as simple as possible for any age to be able to play it. And then you can get more in deep into the the world physics and things like that as you go along. But I can drop Zelda probably for like the rest of the year and then pick it up next year and be fine. But aside from that, Mortal Kombat comes out this month, so that's gonna be something that I'll probably pick up. Never get good at, but just enjoy, the fatalities.
So you're big into the fighting games. I get that, right? So you're gonna get Mortal Kombat, but like, so are you gonna pick up Spider-Man too? Because that's right around the corner in October after.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh man, that is true.
Like this is what I'm talking about. Like you got a
Yeah,
lot of games at one time
yeah. I
that.
gotta cycle something off. So I'm gonna play Starfield. I'll probably never beat it, so that's fine. I'll pick it up until I get to a point where I drop it. It's in Game Pass. I won't feel bad. Zelda I will beat before uh probably I think it'll be a year in May. So before I hit the year mark with Zelda, I will beat it. Because I'll sooner or later I'll get back into the story and stop just randomly foraging around. But I did open up, so I opened up the sky map because there's three levels, three tiers. So I opened up the sky map, I opened up the land map, like all that stuff's been discovered, but it's underground. Like that stuff is still uh places I have to go to unlock new stuff. But it's just a game where you can just pick it up. Like that's what I like about it. Like it could be days, and that's like I want to unwind, and I don't have to do anything specific. I could just roam around until I see a point of interest, and then just do something with it. And like, okay, I had fun. I beat this little puzzle or whatever, and then put it back down. So that one will probably take me until next year to beat. Um, and then the fighting game stuff, and I enjoy the graphics and like all the other stuff, like the mechanics I never master. It just never happens because I was debating about picking up Street Fighter 6, but I'm just like I'm gonna be the only one who plays it. But if I get Mortal Kombat, then RJ will play with me, right? Because it it's just gonna be ridiculous looking fatalities and stuff like that. So it'd be something we can have in the house and just play it on and off. Neither one of us will ever get good at it.
But you enjoy the time, right? So that's what matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because we were playing Injustice 2 for a while. I don't know if you ever played Injustice 2.
Oh yeah, I played Injustice. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it just looks amazing. Like, even if you're getting beat down, it's still fun, like to watch Superman punch you through, a biome, and somehow you survive. So it's just stuff like that. And then you never like, well, you might be good at mechanics, but we never really got good at it. It's just like all the characters have good overlap. So like I could play as, Batman or Robin or Green Arrow or whatever, and just have fun with it, but never really like master the character.
Yeah, I was average at it. I enjoyed it though, because yeah, it did look good, right? Like when you
Yeah.
do the combos, those finisher, not I can't call it a finisher, right? Because it's not like Mortal Kombat where you finish him and then do whatever. But whenever you did whatever their super was, like some of them are very interesting. Because it's funny, right? Because you had the whole take of you're not a fan of Superman because he should just be punching people into outer space, right? Like, and
Right.
that's what he does. Like he'll punch you in outer space, get you, put you back down again. Like it's crazy, but they have some good stuff, and then they'll have like the different characters. Like they'll I don't know if you call it a DLC or not, but like after the game's been out for a minute, you'll see different characters that they'll add on that'll be like, oh, that's
Yeah.
unique. You know what I mean? And you end up doing those. Mortal Kombat does the same thing though. I want to say,
Yeah,
with
they're gonna have Omni Man and
yeah,
what's my man's name? Played by John Cena.
Peace.
Peacemaker. Yeah, Peacemaker will be in there. So I'm just like just ridiculous stuff, right? Like they had Rambo and Terminator in the last one.
Yeah,
So I'm just like, it's just fun stuff. But yeah, again, not realistic, right? Like some of the stuff they do in Mortal Kombat was shattering the spines and they keep fighting, like,
but
you
the
should be
video
done.
looks great. Yeah, but the video looks great, right? Because they do like a X-ray view when you
Yeah, yeah,
like it's
yep,
just like,
exactly.
oh man, that looks good. Yeah.
So it'd be fun. Like it'll be fun just out in the house. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll buy it day one or not, but I probably will. And then it's a reboot, so I don't have to know all of the lore and stuff like that. It's just redoing everything. Like if you do know the lore, I'm sure it'll be fun to see the remix. But I stopped buying Mortal Kombat's like for real back in like I think three was the last one where I was like, this is like my game, this is my fighting franchise or whatever. Same thing with all the other ones, right? Like so Street Fighter 2 Turbo Graphics, insane Ultimate Edition or whatever it was the last Street Fighter I really got into. Tekken 2 was the last Tekken I got into. I think I played Soul Calibur 1. And I think they're on like 5 or 6 now because they're on Tekken 8 now, right? So, and then all the rest of this dabbled. I'll just buy when they're on sale, play around with them, have fun, and then that was it. But I never really got serious about fighting games again since I was like a teenager. So it's just fun stuff. Oh,
you don't have the time you used to either, right? To put into
right.
things,
Yeah,
right?
to
Like right
master
now.
something,
Yeah.
the jumbo sized arcade stick, play
Yeah.
around with that. I
Yeah.
think I had one of those though. I did have one of those when I was in Alaska. So that was at 2010, I want to say. No, 2006.
Yeah.
And then I was playing what was I playing? I was playing like Marvel vs. Capcom or something like that. I was really into that at the time.
That's a good series. I like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, but I was saying, oh, because I forgot. So last time we talked, I said I was going to watch the Flash movie, and I did, and I really enjoyed it.
So like I don't get the hate. Like honestly, like it wasn't as successful as people thought it should be, but like I think it was more so, and we've talked about this on the show before too, is being able to separate from the person in real life, like the actor, what they do in real life, and being able to separate that from their craft. And I think that turned a lot of people off because Ezra Miller was out there, they were out there getting crazy, you know what I mean? Like doing wild stuff. And I
Yeah,
think people were just like, I don't want to support them. I don't care about them, this, that, and third. But I'm like, yo, you were watching for this property, this intellectual property. You're watching this DC character is what you're looking for, right? I'm probably in the minority on that, right? Because it's the whole reason people have their boycotts and whatnot, right? Like don't support this, that, and the third. But I'm watching it not because I support Ezra Miller. I'm watching it because I want to see something with the Flash. Like I saw the Flash in Justice League and the cameo they had in Peacemaker, right? Like I don't know. For me, I think that's what turned some people off, but I was not the same way. I thought it was a good movie.
yeah, yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I just never really got into the Ezra Miller stuff. Right, I never really paid attention to it. Um, however, like just the movie based on the movie's merits, like because I have nostalgia for it, right? That was my Batman. So like bringing Michael Keaton back in such a huge role, which now I wish they had released the Bat woman movie because he was the Batman in that one too, right? So there's like all of this footage of him being Batman, and he was a really good Batman. Like I'm sure he didn't do the majority of the stunts, right? Because he's older now, but like that nostalgia, like so it gave me what I never got from the Justice League movie, like which I enjoyed the Snyder cut of Justice League, don't get me wrong. It did never felt earned, like they didn't build up to it, right? They just kind of like, we need to do an Avengers movie, and they just jump right into it. So it just didn't, like the chemistry wasn't there for me. Like I liked all the actors, but them together didn't really do it for me. I just never really been big into this DCU that they've built. But I did like this because they were able to take 30 years of property and then throw it in there, right? Like so you got all types of like cameos, some CGI people didn't like, obviously, because these people no longer are alive. Um, and they did have some people they could have tapped into that are alive. Like there's a bunch of CW stuff
Yeah.
that people wish they had stuck in here, but for whatever reason they chose the I think they grabbed one character, like the Flash was the CW, not the guy who played a cameo as the Flash was a different CW character or something like that. So there's that callback, which I didn't get because I didn't watch any of that Arrowverse and Flash stuff in CW. But they had other bigger characters they could have pulled, and they just didn't, for whatever reason. They chose a very obscure Superman that never saw the light of day instead of, like one of the Lois and Clark Supermans that's still walking around right now.
But
But
they
I thought it
have
was cool.
pictures. So even the one that never came to fruition, like there are pictures, you know what I mean, that are out on the
Right, right.
world wide webs, you know. So
So I thought it was cool. Like the big bad I saw from a mile away, but
did you? I did not.
really,
I did not realize it. Like when they first showed him, I did not realize it was who it was.
okay.
Yeah. So like you knew it was coming because you know the story, or as soon as you saw them, you were like, "That's
As soon as I saw it happen, I was like, oh, this is one of those. Not to give anything away, right? But this is one of those. I made this happen, and now I have to deal with the ramifications. Like I knew off the bat.
okay." Yeah, I guess I just didn't pay close enough attention.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it, man. Like the using just different characters, but going back and showing what they were doing at that time, right? Because you saw the General Zod thing from Bruce Wayne's perspective in the movies, but now you get to see it from Barry's perspective, right? Like just stuff like that, like the making it all tie together. I thought they did a really good job. And then obviously the nostalgia stuff, the Michael Keaton stuff was really good to me. Um, I thought they did a good job. Like I think the story was a little limited. I think they could have used it for the DCEU and they just chose not to for whatever. Or no, I'm sorry, DCU is the old stuff. DCU is the new stuff, right? I think they could have used it for DCU's reboot, and for whatever reason they just like maybe it is, but they gave themselves enough room where they could just say this is a one-off, right? As opposed to like they could have integrated it a lot more, I think. But then they have to be careful because they have an issue with Ezra Miller. So like, who's to say that he'll ever come back?
Yeah, I don't know. Gunn didn't totally dismiss it that Ezra Miller would be back though. I
Right.
know that, like in interviews and whatnot, they asked about that because as he was coming on, as Snyder was coming, or not Snyder, Gunn was coming on, they asked the question like, "Hey, what's going to go down with Ezra Miller?" And he was not very committed one way or the other on what the future
Right.
holds for him, right? Like which was kind of interesting because like usually with things like this, like they'll shut it down quickly, but like no, we don't, we can't have that, we don't support that, we will move in a different direction. But and I think it's because Gunn was victim to it, right? Like there was that point where he was fired
Oh, right. Yeah, he was
from
canceled by
Marvel.
Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I
so there
mean?
might be
And
some empathy there. Yeah,
right.
you're right. Yeah, I mean, I can see that because yeah, he was canceled for some really old stuff he did. Not to say it was right or wrong, but it came back. Right, he was being canceled by something that had passed years and years ago. Same thing with Kevin Hart. You know,
Yeah.
like because of the day and age we live in, right? You could be canceled for something you did 30 years ago, which I don't know, like you're not big in social media. There's a guy, I find it to be very interesting, sometimes funny, and I can see some people being turned off by it, but there's a guy who looks up old photos of like civil rights and things of that nature, like, and he finds the people who are in the photo doing the bad act. So like the iconic photo of the desegregation of a school, he'll find the people who are in the background yelling the hateful things, and what are they doing now? Some people like me find it fascinating because some of these people turn the corner, right? Or they turn to leave, or they're no longer with us, and then he finds their families and things of that nature. Some people find it very jarring. How can how can you hold these people accountable for something they did decades ago? Because like people grow and evolve. Like yeah, but how can like he summed it up well, where he said, "I hear what you're saying, but how can these people deal with the how can these people deal with consequences that are not their own fault just because of the way that they're born or their skin color in that present moment? And then these people finally get their comeuppance, and now it's a problem." So I was like, "That's a good point." Like, not to say like people don't grow and evolve. However, they never got any ramifications because of it. They taught to treat these people like dirt or garbage. And now like, yeah, it took us 40, 50 years to find you, but now we found you, and like, what are you doing now? And some of them have reunited with the people that they were, they did the bad stuff with, and tried to pay penance, and some of them simply have not. And then he doesn't dox them, he doesn't share their address, but he's just like, no, this person's still alive. Like, and then what kind of like what they're doing now. But that's a weird side tangent from where we were at. But one of these days, next time I come across one, I'm gonna send it to you in the group chat. Cause I find it fascinating. Because you think these people would no longer be here, right? You see these pictures in black and white, you're like, oh man, that's such a long time ago. But then you find out they're only 60, right? These historical events happened like 60 years ago. Like they're still like they're not even in the old folks home yet. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, it came out recently. Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys, was one of them.
Yeah, yeah,
It-
that was one of his. Yep,
yeah.
he
So
ran through the history of it. Yeah.
I didn't realize there was a person out there on social media that was looking these people up, but it came out in
Mhm.
the news. They were talking about it and whatnot. And it's like Jerry Jones is a billionaire now that is given opportunities no matter which way you see it, right? Whether or not
Yeah.
people are paying for less than what they're worth or whatever, but he's given many an opportunity to several black people. But when what's his name back in Arkansas, Governor Wallace was out here trying to keep people from being from being integrated, going into school
Yeah.
and whatnot. Like he was around, you know what I mean? So Yeah.
Crazy stuff. It's crazy to see how much change has happened only in I guess that would be 2 generations. Like generations are weird to me. Like because you think
I
a
don't know the
generation, the person will
time.
no longer exist, but like generations only like 30 or 40 years. It's
Yeah.
you to your offspring is a generation, which
Yeah.
blows my mind. It's like because when I think of the word, I'm thinking like a century. A generation is only like 30 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 generations later, right? Where are these people at? What have they done since what the nefarious thing they did? It's kind of crazy to me. But weird side tangent. Watch The Flash. It was it's worth a watch, especially if you're streaming it. Definitely check it out. But before we go, I did watch The Blackening because we talked about that. I couldn't wait for it to be free. I paid $6 to rent it. It was worth $6. Um, it's not going to be a mega hit, but it's going to be a cult following. It was actually pretty funny. I know you're not a horror guy. I know you're not into horror. It's more comedy than it is horror. It's comedy with a horror backdrop. I know we always talk about that. You're like, oh no, it's actually funny. So I would suggest checking out. It's seen like because black people don't really do horror like that. It's seeing a cast of black people dealing with a horror situation, and just how they're just like, I'm not going to deal with this, but then they have to. They're being pushed into it.
I thought it was more like a spoof thing when when you were telling me about like scary movie. It's not like that. Like it's not that type.
Kind of a little bit, but not absurd funny. Like there's some stuff that happens like not fourth wall breaking funny. Like they're not going for that. They're like, we're in this situation, right? Like they kind of quickly break it down. The budget's not that high, right? They're only in 2 locations. They're driving to the location or they're in the location. That's it. So that's what the budget afforded, right? And it's they like without spoiling too much, but they basically they show up to a cabin in the woods, which is something that typically would not happen, right? Uh, like was the Airbnb situation, and it quickly goes left. So they don't even get time to be like, I don't like this. Like, let's get out of here. Like they normally would do. It's like, no, you have to play this game, or we start offing people, and then just it goes from there. And it's kind of funny because I saw the twist, but the explanation of the twist was chef's kiss. Like, there's going to be a lot of people who connect with the bad guy. We are like, I can see it. I thought that was hilarious.
Okay. All right.
So I would say like wait till it's free to stream. I did pay the $6 to get in there, right, but I didn't regret it. Like at the end of it, I was like that was pretty funny. Not it's not like an Us or a Get Out. It's
That's what
not
I was
it's not
thinking.
meant to it's not meant to be it's not meant to
Portray a
bend.
message of
Yeah, it's just like it's just something for you to watch and laugh at. And then you'll get references because of the culture, right? You're like, okay. So I would recommend checking it out. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna like I think it did do well actually. But it's not gonna be something that's a BET classic, right? That they play over and over again. It'll be something they play uh during
or
the
something.
fall season, right?
Yeah.
During the Halloween season, it'll be something like that. Where you're like, okay, yeah, let's sit down and watch this one. Yeah, but that pretty much sums up my past 2 weeks, man. Just work, some games in there, some more games coming. Like it's gonna be a very busy fall. Like we just talked about a couple of like this whole fall. You got Call of Duty, which I'm not gonna buy. I can't wait for the acquisition to be done where I get Call of Duty for free because I only play Call of Duty for the campaign. I cannot play it competitively. I ain't got the reflexes are gone. I used to go to tournaments and win. Like now I pick up the sticks, I get murdered instantly. I just don't have it in me anymore. Um, but that's gonna drop. You got what else comes out? I think it's a racing game comes out. I think Forza comes out or what have you. We already talked about Starfield, Mortal Kombat. Um, I know I'm missing. Oh, Spider-Man. So then Spider-Man, like me and you both gonna get that. That's gonna be amazing. So we'll probably talk about that. But that's you said that's October, right?
Yeah, it's October. I'd have to look at the date because I was pretty sure it was going to be a September release and it got pushed. It's October though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for that. I have not played anything on PS5 in some time, not because it's not a good system, because it is. I just like Game Pass. Game Pass overshadows it, right? I just keep getting free games while I buy a game. Free in quotation marks. I'm paying for a service, but you get what I'm saying. So, but yeah, definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. Definitely like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Push people our way. I think we have some good content to share with people, regardless if they're in cybersecurity or not. I think it pique their interest, right? Because there's a lot going on this side of the IT cybersecurity world, right? And then hopefully they stick around. So we've grown a lot since the last time I ran like a little mini campaign telling people to like, share, subscribe. So I'm doing it again. I think we have a lot of room for growth. So definitely share us out. Hit us up at the websites that go by our name. Hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe, stay secure.